Good evening, my fellow exorcists, and welcome to the Lair of the Film Exorcist. Tonight, I and my new friend Cinema Witch will be reviewing Harley Quinn Season 1. Harley Quinn has finally broken things off once and for all with the Joker, and attempts to make it on her own as the criminal queenpin of Gotham City. In this half-hour adult animated action comedy series, with the help of Poison Ivy and a ragtag crew of DC cast-offs, Harley tries to earn a seat at the biggest table in villainy, the Legion of Doom. Okay, I can't be the only one that hears when the words Legion of Doom come out is just the whole army of Dr. Doom. I mean, I literally can't be. There's gotta be people just as mixed.
It's literally just you. It's literally...
Oh, well, fuck me then.
Is he even in the Legion of Doom?
No.
Speaking of
completely different company.
I like that one episode where we saw all the members of the Legion of Doom, and it was like a Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? And we're just picking out the... Oh, look, there's Solomon Grundy.
And then there's
Black
Man.
Adam.
And then there's...
this purple guy who I'm assuming is a Superman villain.
Wasn't Captain Cool?
Captain Cold,
There was...
Metallo.
The toy maker, you were saying?
I think it's the toy maker or the doll. He was a Superman villain. He was during the first, one of the first episodes of the Superman animated series. And does anyone really like fucking Calendar Man?
I like Calendar Man.
I mean, he was a part of the Long Halloween, but also, who commits crimes only on holidays? You guys know how I feel about the Suicide Squad movies. The second one was... The Birds of Prey one was pretty good because it focused mostly on Harley Quinn and the fights were amazing.
And the breakup and like...
the first one just...
the first Suicide Squad movie?
Harley Quinn was good, but also it was really fucking terrible and I don't want to ever watch it again because I cannot handle Jared Leto Joker because... What the fuck? The third one, or the reboot, everyone's favorite, including me, because Harley Luna was just a mood for most of it, and just, this was an amazing team, and now we have to deal with the trailers and the new Peacemaker series, because... Of course, no one has had enough of John Cena in tighty whities.
I have not had enough of John Cena in tighty whities.
Okay, I have. I can. I fucking hate John Cena at this point. Anyway, this series... Where we've had dark moments in Batman the Animated Series, we've,
straight up breaking bones and like
gore, destroying an entire family line,
and guts everywhere.
I mean, in this we even got the most famous question answered: who would win in a fight, a shark or a wolf? King Shark disemboweled a wolf so Harley could climb up its ass and walk up to the door in like a Trojan horse.
Some of the imagery is legitimately shocking. Also, there's a lot of cursing.
There is a lot of cursing. Like this is PG-13 at its or what we now call PG-13 at its highest setting.
You're not allowed you're not allowed to show blood in PG-13.
Okay, then like it's like M-rated.
M-rated, yeah.
And it's awesome. I mean, for an animated show, we don't get this much. I mean, since our recent iterations of Invincible, which I have not seen yet, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Family Guy.
You said that Rick and... There were certain things in here, you said it, that also legitimately reminded me of Rick and Morty. Like when that guy turns into the wheelchair guy turns into
the car when their
Transformer transforms into a freaking car.
That was Psy. He's an ex KGB or I think he's KGB or CIA agent, and he was put into this program where you can. Some toy company turned him into a car, and it just instantly it reminded me of the end credits where Morty turns into a car in the middle of the classroom. Just like, but a lot more graphic.
I remember this, but like the metal parts come out of his limbs, and it's all like gory, and it's like,
is this guy still? I mean, after you see him back to normal in his wheelchair, and it's like.
How the fuck did he not die? What the fuck?
Like how did it all like come back?
To be honest, this has got to be the best iteration of Harley Quinn as a character. I mean, we talked about recently in the original Suicide Squad how the bat was from a deleted scene where the Joker beat the living shit out of someone with a bat and destroyed his face before giving Harley the zap zap. Here it's a symbol of her breaking up with the Joker, just ending it. I mean, she literally beats the shit out of the Joker with said bat, breaks the bat, and it's just... This is the new Harley Quinn. Get over it. This is the new Harley Quinn. She is independent. She is a huge fucking badass, and she's
awesome. Yeah. I like how she's brought up with her relationship to Ivy. I feel like we should need to touch on that a little bit.
That is
like how Ivy brings her up. Like she was like, I was down in my life at some point.
And Ivy rebirthed her pretty much. Showed her origin, and which we do kind of get into an episode of that where we go through Harley's mind, and she wants to recreate the origin of Harley Quinn, where we see that she willingly jumped into the vat of chemicals to become Harley Quinn for her love of the Joker, and now she's recreating that as the time that she beat the shit out of the Joker was the true origin of Harley Quinn. She is now the ultimate form of Harley Quinn, and ain't nothing going to stop this girl from becoming the queen pin of Gotham City.
She's awesome.
She gets her wish. She realizes she fucked up. It's not what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, she even tries to join the Legion of Doom. We talked about this, right?
And she does.
She joins the Legion of Doom.
Also, they kind of trick Ivy into Ivy at one point because they told her, if you join, then Harley can join. And that kind of ruined their friendship for a bit, or that almost ruined their friendship because it made it look like Ivy's the jealous friend now, but now it's she gets what she wants, and it pretty much separates the crew. Clayface, Killer Shark, Dr. Psycho,
and we didn't talk about those groups.
We haven't gotten
that group of idiots.
But they end up working under Bane and other villains. They are pretty much treated like henchmen under Harley Quinn, and Harley is the gang leader. And
they show you in the show that that she's better on her own, and forming her own path.
I mean, the train scene was kind of hilarious, where she had to turn 2 keys. And then above her head, there's a third one. I'd have liked to see how the hell she would have been able to get to that third keyhole before the Joker just bursts in with his crew and shows, yeah, no, you need a team. I mean, then again, she does kind of relapse later on during said episode of her losing her crew because she goes back to the Joker. She falls for him again. Pretty much
just like watching your best friend go back to an abusive relationship.
And we do kind of see her somewhat recover from it. I mean,
because there's, even in abusive relationships, there are positive things about it. Like, they're having dinner, they're, what are they, on a yacht?
Joker finally lets her come up the ladder with him, and then just
she's like, this is everything that I dreamed of.
And then it takes a turn for the worse. Like, you know how the Joker is from the first episode where he left her to go back to Arkham. Like, this is happening again. He's pushing her out of the helicopter, and she's literally like, what have I done?
Yeah, which is just like the cycle of abuse, and you just watching her get back on that roller coaster and experience that cycle again.
Exactly.
Like, maybe things will be different this time. He's being very romantic, and then he pushes her out of the freaking helicopter, which is just what happens in those situations.
Right. And also, this show kind of also goes into the parental relationship that Harley has with her father and her mother and the rest of her family, which I can kind of relate to this because me and Cinema Witch have been talking a lot about this. Like, I recently realized that I was going through a lot of shit, and I can kind of relate to what Harley is going through with this. Like, her father used her to make money. I mean, he bets against her when she's like right at the cusp of going into the Olympics, becoming this big star like she wants. She's got big dreams, and he fucks her over so badly. And she goes back to that house, and it's just like, at the start, she knows my father is a piece of shit. He's going to ruin my life again. I don't want him in my life. And then her mother's like, oh, he's changed. He's fine. He's a better man. No, he turns on her right away when he learns about the bounty, and he tries to kill her, and just like, fuck.
Right, which is just like, her mother's relationship with her father sort of mirrors her relationship with
the Joker. I'm as mentally fucked up as Harley Quinn, to be honest. I can heavily relate to the shit. I mean, I can't really say toxic relationship because I don't really know too much about that. I mean, I've been physically abused, I've been emotionally abused, sexually abused, but yeah, it's kind of yeah. It's confusing, and this show is very relatable to people that have gone through these. I mean, it does not hold back. It shows you the toxic relationship between Harley and Joker. It shows the toxic relationship that Harley has with her family.
The way that the toxic, household that she came from.
And honestly, thinking in real time, I have my poison ivy right here. Cinema Witch is literally my poison ivy. Because I could not go through shit without her. She makes me realize a lot of things about myself that I needed to learn.
I'm sincerely flattered. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, would you rather I say you're like Psy, where you're annoying as hell and just like mean landlord?
Maybe.
Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think it's finally time we get to the crew. It's like it said, it's a bunch of characters that have been written off a lot of the times in media. I mean, King Shark, the new iteration, is literally dumb half the time and focused on eating, where this one,
he's actually quite intelligent.
It's similar to the Arrowverse kind of King Shark.
Right.
Which, I mean, he's still kind of dumb, but also he's...
This one actually sounds like he reads.
He does read. He's a social media nut whiz. He knows what he's doing half the time, and also he does have his psychotic moments, like with Robin when he almost eats him.
He still has an animalistic side.
He does. I mean, that's also featured in the episode where he gets like trapped in jail.
The Hulk in that way, like where he's like in, you know, he has this like rage.
He's like Smart Hulk.
But yeah.
Dr. Psycho.
Are you talking about the Hulk that's like Bruce Banner and Hulk?
Yes, pretty much. Dr. Psycho, he's
freaking hilarious.
He's a piece of shit. Like, one of the jokes near the end of the series is the Joker's torturing him, and to torture him, he pretty much pulls a Clockwork Orange.
Yep.
Uses the forceps on his eyes, or whatever those are called, and forces him to watch feminist videos. Like, Dr. Psycho is a huge piece of shit in this series with constantly using the C word against women. He hates women.
The entire episode was the fact that he used the C word.
Like, it's a huge part, and he does it multiple times, and there is...
like, trying to prove that he's...
For anyone like me who has already seen the second season, you know there's never going to be a redemption for this guy. Clayface.
Alright, the episode with the baby.
There was not... Are you talking about his hand?
His hand.
Which
that was played by SpongeBob's voice actor, Tom Kenny.
Yeah, to be honest, when I saw it, it was kind of... I felt like it was like that one later episode of Batman the Animated Series where Robin meets this young girl and it turns out to be a part of Clayface that took on its own identity. This is pretty much that, except it's Clayface's hand and it doesn't morph into a child. It's just like this
it's literally
very sweet character.
Yes. But then he tries to find out where the lair is.
Gordon tries to find out where the lair is, and after that, it's like this hand is the best friend everyone needs, because he's trying to help Gordon, because in this series Gordon is in bad shape.
He looks rough. His
wife's cheating on him. He's an alcoholic. Batman doesn't like saying that they're friends because he's Batman. Batman. He likes being alone. He's a solitary character, and so this hand is like the best friend that Gordon needed. And after, like, near the end of the episode, he lets him go, because Batman's realizing that they are friends, that they need to, like, come together at certain points and help each other, but also, this hand just amazing. Clayface, on the other hand, can kind of get annoying.
On the other hand?
Oh, God. But no, Clayface is a bit annoying in this because they're trying to go off the actor part that has been his origin for years, but also it's just like he takes it too far most of the time with, oh, I'm a thespian and I have to be Shakespearean and I have to be this character all the time. It's just... It gets old after a while. I mean, I get it. It's his character, but you could have toned it down a bit, and it doesn't get better in the second season. I can tell you as a preview, it's about the same. But
who else is in this crew? Is that?
Let's see, Psycho, Clayface,
Ivy, Harley.
I wouldn't say Ivy because
Ivy wants kind of no part in it.
She doesn't want to be a part of the crew.
She's just...
She's the supportive friend.
She's just a supportive friend of Harley.
And there is Frank. Frank the plant.
Frank the Plant,
Which-
who's like the Venus flytrap from...
He's Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep.
But he's a lot more boisterous and...
No, wait, there's also that book. Does she count?
I don't think the Queen of Fables technically counts because it was like one episode where she's more of a mentor to Harley for a bit, and then she's like one of the big antagonists that teams up with the Joker, and you just kind of hate her. That one scene of her destroying the entire family line of the Praxtons and just...
That was
horrifying. And then just you see the big bad wolf, just this gory scene, and then wait until you see what the 3 little pigs do. Oh, don't forget the bones. You always forget the bones. You have to eat the bones too. It's just like...
Ugh. So...
Why?
Sorry, what were we talking about before we started going off about Queen Fables?
We were talking about Frank.
Frank.
He is a very, very funny plant.
Oh.
And he is part of the reason why Harley ends up saving Ivy in the end from the... Well, he picks her up from her parents, and then they save Ivy from being destroyed by Clayface. We do go into another Mind episode for a bit where we learn that Harley Quinn is kind of Ivy's biggest fear because she can't be trusted, mainly. Harley is kind of a bad friend.
Unhinged,
And it is Ivy that helps her through most of her shit, and it's like the unthanked friend. Holy shit, Harley Quinn is a bad child. Like,
yeah,
psychotic little creature and just chopping off doll heads, psychotic teen romance,
valedictorian,
bitch, pretty much. Like,
She's
at her graduation, she tells everyone,
I am honored to be the valedictorian, and I just want to thank absolutely no one. Fuck all of ya. Fuck the principal. Fuck the shop teacher that looks at my ass every time I walk out of class. Yeah, I see you. Have a great fucking summer.
Okay, so we just want to go into the last episode, which makes me really excited for what they're gonna do for the next season, because it's like Gotham is literally on fire.
It kind of reminds me of Gotham, the TV series, when all these villains take over. It could also be similar to 0 Year when the Riddler shuts down Gotham from the entire country and it almost gets blown up because the government sends in a team to pretty much nuke it. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of comics and movies and TV shows where they've shut down Gotham, and then this one's just like, they literally burned down Gotham just to end the Joker. And I mean, I think you missed it, but because the Joker was trying to throw Harley back into the same vat that turned her into Harley Quinn, which would have turned her back into Harleen Quinzel. Mm-hmm. Ivy comes back because of, I'm gonna say Disney magic, but also it's the power of nature, which you can kind of see because Harley laid down a bunch of roses, and you can kind of see in her eye the the black dye from the roses, because Poison Ivy is revived similar to Groot. Through roses and just plants in general. But she drops the Joker into the vat, and after the entire building is dropped on him, you see his hand rise out, and his skin turns from white to normal white person skin. And it's just like, is the Joker still alive? There's also the realization that Batman was still in that tower, and he's buried under it somewhere. We don't know where he is, if he's still alive. The Joker knows the identity of Bruce Wayne is Batman, which I did mention because there are, in many, many iterations, the Joker has said his fight with Batman is like a joke, where the punchline kind of stops being funny as soon as he finds out who Batman is. Because it's no longer this fun experience for him. It's just like, now I know this. The fun is in the chase. The Joker wants to chase the identity, but also he doesn't want the chase to ever end. Because
which is sort of like how we compare this to like a romantic relationship between the Batman and the Joker.
I mean, I'm going off on a limb and saying there is, and I'm hoping I'm not wrong. They're technically, throughout the years, it's been seen as Batman and Joker are gay for each other.
There's definitely like an infatuation there, in a certain way.
There is, yeah. This series does a lot. For
so
DC.
Good.
It's really good. And if you haven't seen it yet, you have to watch it because it brings a lot of villains out of the dark, puts them in place. It makes Harley Quinn improves on the already perfect Harley Quinn.
You get more of her backstory, you see her becoming the best version of herself despite her trauma.
Exactly.
Her fucked up relationships.
It also brings in a lot of the A-list villains that kind of... I mean, with Bane, he's kind of a joke in this, but also it's kind of funny because he wants to blow everything up because Bane is technically a terrorist. But also, he's the low-tier villain of this, despite... throughout the years, him being this big bad that everyone feared. Yeah, you kind of feel bad for Bane.
We should wrap
I'm kind of sad we haven't hit Kite Man yet, but...
We didn't fucking talk
about Kite Man.
Alright, fuck boy.
He is a fuck boy, and he's the worst, most annoying character. I mean, you feel bad when Ivy doesn't want to be seen with him.
I can't believe we forgot about Kite
We
Man.
forgot... I mean, he's a terrible character that you do want to forget in this series because nobody likes Kite Man.
Except for Ivy.
Apparently Ivy has like a thing for the most useless of villains. I mean, oh my god, in the next season, we meet one of like his rivals. The Condiment King. Which, another useless character, but here, Kite Man, he is a fuckboy.
He's an embarrassment.
He's
annoying.
Embarrassing, nobody likes him. You kind of feel bad for him, because he's that kind of character you have to feel bad for her, but also...
Yeah, they're not...
I fucking hate him.
Yeah, alright.
He's a mainstay that shouldn't have stayed.
Yeah,
and I kind of hope we don't see him in the season 3 later on.
Right.
Which we're still waiting for at this point. But yeah, brilliant series. A triple plus.
I don't give ratings.
I know. She doesn't give ratings, so I'd say this is like a collabed rating between us. But... yeah, this was a really good series.
And I'm excited
First season.
I haven't seen it.
She hasn't seen it yet. So next week we're definitely doing season 2 because next month, November 10th, the third book of the Harley Quinn Kill Bang Eat Kill Bang series comes out, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, this was a really good season, and sorry we're doing it way 2 years later. But yeah, I love this series, and I can't wait to rewatch season 2 with my bestie here, and Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and any last words?
I don't know. Hopefully our schedules match up better next time.
Hopefully. Sorry, Silva. We know you're, like, PMSing over the late video, and I mean, this is gonna...
I had to buy a new car.
She had to buy a new car. I had school. I started therapy recently. So a lot of shit has been going on. So
yeah, just like I had adult stuff that I had to take care of.
And I'm starting my adult stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.